Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Put it in the comment if you think your business is profitable enough to pay back at least a $25,000 loan. Okay. Now, the reason I'm asking that, because I'm gonna tell you at least 7 places you can go to get a loan when you have bad credit. All right. Now, here's the thing about it with a lot of these lenders. These lenders, they're looking at the revenue in the business. Do you have regular revenue in the business? Okay. Then they're going to be looking at are you able to show bank statements, or are you able to show tax returns, up to date tax returns? All right. So that's the thing about it. When you're trying to get funding with just your EIN, you need to show proof of income. Now, with these lenders I'm talking about, the minimum income you have to make is at least $1,500 a month. If your business cannot generate at least $1,500 a month, then you have a marketing problem. You have a customer problem. Okay. However, I'm going to tell you these lenders, but it's up to you for you to actually do your due diligence and see if these lenders will help you. And I want you to put it in the comment once I start talking about these lenders, if you ever thought about taking out this type of loan. The first one we're talking about, and this is bad credit, don't care. All right. It's your margin loan. So you may have an investment account. Okay. That may be with Fidelity. It may be with some of the other brokerage. All right. So you have a margin loan that you can take. All right. And so they don't care about the bad credit. That's one of the easiest loans you can get. The second easiest loan you can get, and the interest rate is lower on that. The second easiest loan you can get is from your insurance policy, life insurance policy. So if you don't have a life insurance policy, then you have bigger problems. You have bigger problems if you don't have a life insurance policy. All right. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying, if you walking around and you talking about you running a business, but you don't have any life insurance, and you may have a family or something, you have a bigger problem than trying to get a loan for a business. All right. Again, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying you got a bigger problem. All right. Then let's talk about some of these other lenders. All right. So you hear me talk about Fair Figure. And so with Fair Figure, they operate like NAV. For those of you that are familiar with NAV, is that will give you two trade lines. Now, here's the thing about it with Fair Figure. If you're generating at least $2,500 a month, okay, and you have a registered business, so a DBA would not work. If you have a registered business, then if you're making $2,500 a month, then they are willing to give you a loan. All right. And again, it's not focused on the personal credit. This is uh, just focused on the revenue that's coming into the business. So Fair Figure is number one. Then you have Lendeska. Okay. And so with Lendeska, all they say is you have to be in business for at least 90 days, and your annual revenue, okay, has to be at least 25,000 annually. Okay. So those are the minimum requirements. $25,000 is what, a little over $2,000 a month. All right. So the main thing is the business has to be generating revenue. All right. And they would deal with a person with a 550 credit score to help you get qualified for funding. All right. And so they are actually a platform. Again, when you are dealing with these type of platforms, they may be looking at a merchant cash advance. So you may have to take into consideration your interest rate is definitely going to be much higher. All right. And I definitely would not be telling you guys about these lenders unless you just dire straits and you just need money. Okay. But you have to show proof. And it's unfortunately because I did have a client, and he needed capital for business, but no tax returns, no bank statements, no regular deposits. So how do you give somebody something when they can't produce nothing? How are you going to pay it back? And you have to be logical about this to ask, would I loan somebody some money that I see that they cannot pay the money back and they have bad credit? So you have to be logical about this when you're trying to get money with just your EIN number. It's not impossible, but you have to make sure that, okay, and these here lenders, this is like the bottom. You're scraping the bottom to get these here lenders. Okay, these are your um, primitive lenders that are willing to work with you. Okay, but you still have to have something that they can actually know that, okay, we're going to loan them money, I'll have a chance to get it back. All right, unfortunately a lot of times it don't even come out like that. Now another place, putting yourself at risk is that you have a yendo. If you have a car, you can take a loan against your car if the car has equity in it or has been paid off. Even if you're making payments on the car and then, but however, you have equity in it, they will give you a loan up to $10,000. So again, it's not about the credit. This is one of the things I cannot stress enough. So many people think it's all about the credit. No, it's not about the credit. But do you have revenue? And especially, how are you going to be in business if you can't generate $1,500? How can you even set it you a business? $1,500. If you break that up, you what, $1,500 over 30 days? So it's not a whole lot of money. You can do side hustles, uh, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and make that money. And that's actually a key. So if you have a business and you're trying to get a loan and stuff, what you should do is register the business and then do like different side hustles that that pay daily or weekly, and transfer that money over into the business. That way you can actually produce real bank statements. That's something that you really should consider. All right. And again, you may not have the best credit. However, by them actually seeing regular deposit, because these last two that I'm gonna tell you about, they will give you money. The interest rates will be high. However, you have to have at least a monthly deposit, at least 3 to 4 times a month. And the minimum income you have to have for these type of accounts is just $1,500. Just $1,500 in order for them to work with you. All right. And so the first one I'm talking about is Giggle Finance. They give you up to $10,000, right? Now you have to be in business at least 90 days. Now, here's the interesting thing about these here lenders as well. You know how I talk about a bad NAICS code for funding and stuff? Well, these type of lenders, they don't care. They don't care that you have a bad NAICS code. They will give you money, right? So you don't have to have a good NAICS code. You just have to show that you have income coming in. So that's the reason why I even picked these here, because one, they're not looking at your NAICS code. They're not, number two, they're not looking at the credit. Okay? So they don't care if you have a DUNS number or not. So that's the thing about it. When you're looking at lenders that don't care about those things, all they care about is revenue in the business, and the minimum revenue is only 1,500. That's what I'm saying. It's lenders out there that will work with you, that will give you money. Okay. But however, most people, again, if you can't produce $1,500 a month and you saying that you're in business, you have a bigger problem. All right, you have a bigger problem. All right. Now, the last lender we're talking about is Fundo. Now, Fundo is a merchant cash advance. However, again, they give you up to 10 G's. They give you up to 10,000. So again, all you have to show is that you've been in business at least 90 days with 3 to 4 months of deposits. Minimum income $1,500. So these lenders are not asking for a lot from you. Okay, that's one thing you have to realize. They're not asking for a lot from you. It's just that if you're not willing to or you cannot provide any of the information they need, then they can't help you. And then you have to ask yourself, well, would I loan myself $10,000? Right? If you can't produce those things, you have to be honest enough and say, well, will I loan myself the $10,000? All right. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.